The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
It's never too early to predict the Jets' 53-man roster. The Jets have a scrimmage on Saturday. We're going to break down who will be on the roster when it's all said and done. Plus, Tarik Cohen shockingly announced he's retiring. What does that mean for the state of the roster? It's the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started.
Man, our Jets are primed for a historic season.
There goes my hero.
Oh,
As he goes.
We bleed Jets green each and every day. This is not the same old Jets. We have Aaron freaking Rodgers. We have Garrett Wilson. Let's go. We have Breece Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chat, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quinnen Williams. The Jets bandwagon is loaded. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show.
Here we go, Jet fans. Before we bring on today's guest, Brandyn Pokrass from JetsXFactor.com. Big time announcement tomorrow morning, Friday a.m., August 2nd. I'm hosting Morning Drive. I'm filling in for Rick DiPietro and Dave Rothenberg, so you can hear me on the radio from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. It will be me and Maria Marino. So looking forward to working with Maria again after we did a full week together, filling in for the guys back during the holiday season last December. So I'm back in Morning Drive tomorrow from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. Jet fans, call in. Need all the Asmaniacs to give us a call throughout the course of the show. With that said, let's bring on today's guest as we talk all things New York Jets. He's a good friend of the show. He's been at as many of these practices as he's physically allowed to go to. Ladies and gentlemen, Brandyn Pokrass from JetX joins us now. What's up, Brandyn?
I'm doing good. Can't wait to talk some New York Jets today, as always.
Absolutely. Yeah, man. I mean, let's start with the news that seemingly came out of nowhere. The Jets didn't practice today, so no media availability. It was just a walkthrough. But we find out this morning, Tarik Cohen, who based on all accounts was having a really good camp so far, he announced he's done with football. He's stepping away at age 29. He's retiring. He hasn't played in a regular season game since 2020. But still, this guy, based on everything we heard, was looking sharp, was looking good. I noticed it when I saw him in person last Saturday. So, Brandyn, you've been at all these practices. What's your level of surprise with this?
I was very surprised because it felt like he was making a push. Like, obviously, when you have the running back room that the Jets have, they have Breece Hall, they have Braylon Allen and Isaiah Davis, who they just drafted. You still have to leap over Izzy, who, as much as he hasn't done great, he still is a draft pick from this regime. But Cohen was making plays. He was making cuts that made it look like he was getting somewhere near his prime with the Chicago Bears. He looked shifty and good on this new kickoff return format. So hearing this now, it's kind of like out of the blue. It's, okay, what made him reach this decision when, especially, he talked in his media availability that he felt like he was getting back to himself, that he was happy, that he was enjoying the locker room. So I'm interested where that decision ultimately comes from. Maybe his heart wasn't fully in it, but looking at a more general overview now, this gives Gibson a much better chance to win that job. This gives Malachi Corley yet another opportunity to make an impact on this roster. And maybe there's someone that comes out of nowhere to steal this returner job. I mean, UDFA, Tyler Harrell, he's been working there a little bit. UDFA, Brandon Codrington, he's working there. Maybe even Izzy finally gets some reps and shows that he can make some plays on this unit. Who knows? But it's definitely something that is going to have a ripple effect. It's going to have a ripple effect on this team.
Well, when you look at the 53-man roster, I think the biggest winner from this is a guy you mentioned. I think Izzy Abanikanda was firmly on the roster bubble. If they were going to keep Cohen on the team, To me, he would have been the fourth running back. They're keeping Brees. They just drafted 2 running backs. So I think the biggest, beneficiary of the Cohen news today is Izzy. Izzy, I think his job got a lot more secure today than it was a day prior.
I definitely can see that, but I also think that before he secures his job, like he just simply has to look better at the running back spot. And looking at the last open practice, Izzy, not only was he running behind every other running back, but he wasn't even working in with the returners. He was just on kickoff team. So maybe now he does get a shot to prove he can be a viable kickoff returner. Maybe he does get a shot to get a few more reps, but I'd say even not including Brees and Isaiah Davis and Braylon Allen, Xavier Valde has looked better than Izzy, in my opinion, at least. He looks shifty. He looks decisive as a runner. He looks quick and fast. It's just going to be very interesting to see what the impact is, because I don't necessarily fully disagree with you, where I do think Izzy can make up a lot of ground. And I do think he can make a push to make this roster with Cohen being out of the picture now. But I also need to see him actually get those necessary reps first.
We're talking with Brandyn Pokrass throughout the course of the show. If you have a question for Brandyn, super chat it in. His time is limited. He's joining us here before he's got a big-time event tonight, so I appreciate him making some time for us to talk some Jets football. Brandon's been at all the practices, so he can give you some great insight on which players have stood out, which players are potentially going to be surprise additions to the 53-man roster when it's all said and done. We're just 26 days away, by the way, from that roster being set. So haven't played preseason games yet, but tonight's the Hall of Fame game, and then next week it really starts to pick up for the Jets with their first preseason game, a joint practice next week against the Washington Commies. So things are starting to happen here, folks, for the New York Jets. Brandyn, I want your thoughts on a move the Jets made 2 days ago. And now that I think about it, I think there's a lot of strategy involved in that move. So the Jets, who did carry a fullback on their team last year, in Nick Bawden, they released Nick Bawden and replaced him with Anthony Firkser. Firkser is a tight end / fullback. He has experience playing both positions, and he has familiarity with one of the top offensive coaches on the staff in Todd Downing when the two were together with the Titans. I think if you want to try and find an extra roster spot to carry a 10th offensive lineman, which Joe Douglas said his regret last year was not doing that. He only carried 9. If you wanted to carry an extra defensive lineman, given some of the early impressions from the UDFAs that have turned some heads like a Braylon McGregor, there is a scenario where you carry 3 tight ends. So in this scenario, it would be Conklin, Ruckert, and then say Firkser, who then also is your fullback, and then that gives you some roster flexibility to then carry an extra of any of those positions I just named. I'm curious your thoughts on that.
I think it's pretty evident that the Jets in their fullback usage are probably leaning more towards that versatility side where, okay, now it's just not a fullback. We're lining Jeremy Ruckert up there. And now Ruckert, you can't just key in on him as a normal blocker, which he is very good at, but he also can leak out. He also can make a play in the passing game. Gives you that more offensive versatility as the Jets move towards having a more modern offense. We've seen signs of it with some of the motion, with some of the usage of their guys. This would just be another step where now you're not necessarily having that fullback role always be the fullback. Now it could be Ruckert. It could be Firkser. And I think I completely agree with what you said. It gives the Jets more roster flexibility. Now it's not just, okay, who's the offensive lineman that we have to cut, or the defensive lineman we have to cut, or the receiver, the cornerback, the safety, in favor of keeping a fullback. It basically shrinks the roster by another spot, but at the same time, you might now keep someone that otherwise you're cutting who may end up playing a role for you in this season.
It's going to be fascinating to see what they want to do. And some of the big questions I have too when it comes to this roster is if they're going to keep 10 offensive linemen, who are the 10 they're going to keep here, right? How do they view Max Mitchell and his position versatility? Do they pencil him in as more of a guard or more of a tackle? When you look at some of the other options with the offensive line in particular here, if they're keeping, let's say, 5 offensive tackles, we know 3 of them are certainly going to be Smith, Moses, Fashanu, Carter Warren's on this team. If Max Mitchell's slotted to be, your 5th offensive tackle, interior-wise, are you rolling with your starters, AVT, Tippmann, Simpson? Schweitzer is the backup center right now, and then is it Isaiah Newman? Is it Jake Hansen? Who gets that final spot if you're going to slot Max Mitchell as a tackle and you're keeping 10 offensive linemen?
I think right off the bat, you have 6 locks. You have your starting unit and you have Olu. And then you go from there, and it's interesting because I think, because of everything we've heard, that they probably keep Carter Warren. They want to let him develop and let him maybe – I think this would be smart, but maybe in the same way that you have Olu learning from Moses and Smith, you let Carter Warren do the same. See what you can get out of him in terms of development.
He's
so that
been
brings
solid
you to
so
7.
far too, right, Brandon?
Yes. So that brings you to 7. After that, I'm probably looking more interior. And Wes Schweitzer, you have to keep. He's basically your backup center, like you said. Brings you to 8. I personally have really liked what Cole Laval has shown. There was a 1 rep when he was working on the 3rd team where he just completely stonewalled a defensive tackle with his pass set. And that's just not something that a lot of, I feel like, the depth guys on the Jets, and especially in the interior, have been doing. So I think he's the type of player that, with the Jake Hansen injury, I think he can push Hansen. I think he can push Glazer. I think he can push, DeCluse. I think he can push these guys for that roster spot, considering how many tackles the Jets are keeping already and the fact that they're going to need interior depth. So I think, in my opinion, Laval shows enough during preseason that he earns one of those spots. And he also was a standout in the UFL. So you have the tape on there to compare to what you see now, see where that progress goes. And I think that brings you to 9. And then the last one, probably a toss-up between Newman, Latham, Mitchell, and I'd probably say Hansen and Glazer. Hey, honestly, for me, let's see what the preseason dictates. I could lean Mitchell one day. I could lean Newman another. I could lean one of the other guys another day. I feel like that last spot is going to be solely predicated on preseason performance, joint practice performance, and the big elephant in the room that nobody likes talking about, how healthy is the offensive line heading into the season? Because it could be Mitchell simply for the fact that they're not confident in the other tackle's health. It could be the guard if they're not confident in the guard's health. The Jets' offensive line has been one of the most injury-devastated units in all of football. Some of these decisions aren't going to be who is the best. It's going to be how can we ensure that our line doesn't completely blow up again, that we have enough depth to last an NFL season.
Do you hear that, Brandon? I hear something. Now would be a good time for JD to sign Connor McGovern back. So you add him, and it's a no-brainer that you have quality veteran depth at the center spot.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's some other veteran centers available, but the point still stands. You should probably go out and sign a veteran center just so, and I personally think Tippmann will be fine. But just in the emergency situation that Joe Tippmann can't figure out the snapping, he still has the yips, you have an option to turn to, and now your offensive line is basically set in that regard.
100%. The other thing to look at here when it comes to the offense and the 53-man roster, how many wide receivers are the Jets going to keep, right? I could give you, I think, confidently the first 4. Garrett Wilson, Mike Williams, Malachi Corley, Alan Lazard. I do think Xavier Gibson is on this team. After that, how do they feel about Herb Charles? Is he guaranteed a spot? And if he's guaranteed a spot, does that mean Brownlee's off this team because they're only keeping 6, right? You start to do the numbers game. Do you keep 7 wide receivers? Or, well, if you want to carry 10 O-linemen, well, then you can only carry 6 wide receivers. If you want to keep an extra defensive lineman, well, there's only so much you could do. There's going to be one room that's short. So I wonder how they view the wide receiver room. But right now, I think there's one spot up for grabs in that room because I do think Xavier Gipson, when push comes to shove, is making this team.
It's what I talk about. Like I've said it on your show. I've said it elsewhere. You can't just evaluate wide receiver in the wide receiver vacuum. It is wide receivers compared to the rest of the team. What is the Jets' philosophy heading into 2024?
I hope it score points because we haven't seen that in a long time.
Too. I hope so too. But once you have that answer of what positions they want to value the most, then you can look into the sense of, okay, they're going to keep this amount of players, and that means a good player at a different position might get cut. When you look at wideouts, I would completely agree with you. Wilson is your star number one. Williams is your big offseason addition. He's your number two. I've really liked what I've seen from Malachi Corley. I think even in the small reps that he's getting, and the reps he was getting before Gipson got injured, he was taking steps forward, looking better. And then you hear the most recent practice, he has 4 touchdowns. He's working with every group. The Jets are getting him rep after rep after rep, and it shows you that they know how important he is to this season. So that's your 3. I've talked about Allen Lazard. He is that situational third down player, red zone player. And simply based off contract, he's going to be on the roster. Might as well try to have Aaron Rodgers get the most out of him. And then we get the 5 and 6. I don't think Gibson's as big of a lock as you. I think that he has a really good shot. But quite frankly, you need to see him on the field. You need to see where has he gone from year 1 to year 2. I think the same goes for Jason Brownlee. Brownlee struggled to garner separation at certain points during camp. He's also made some bleeping catches. So you kind of have that 50-50 aspect. If he can get that, separation aspect better, he'll have a great shot because the Jets don't have that many jump ball threats. I personally look at other guys on the depth chart, right? With a Irvin Charles. Are you keeping him solely because of what he brings on special teams? Or are you looking to actually have someone that contributes more in the passing game? What about Malik Taylor, who's made a decent amount of plays? Or my personal favorite to be a sleeper to make the team, Tyler Harrell, who's looked very fast and very explosive on the offensive side of the ball. What about Lance McCutcheon, who's worked in with the twos and Tyrod Taylor at times? I wouldn't say this wide receiver room is loaded, but I would say the battle for that back end of roster spots, the 5 and 6, I feel like they're more open in a sense than most people would like to say. And I think in addition to that, it's just going to come down to what the Jets value. Hey, we want more speed. We're going to lean Harrell. Hey, we want experience and players that understand Rodgers. We're going to keep Malik Taylor. We want a jump ball threat. We're going to keep Jason Brownlee. It's going to be fun to mix and match those different predictions as we watch these practices unfold, because right off the bat, right, we could say that Brownlee and Gipson are going to make the team heading into the Commanders' joint practice. If Tyler Harrell has like 3 touchdowns and Jason Brownlee's getting clamped every time, that could change things. Just as on the other hand, if Xavier Gipson gets back and he goes ballistic, he solidifies his spot. But if he struggles, maybe the Jets look elsewhere. I guess what I'm trying to say in a very long-winded way is this is one of the bigger ones to pay attention to, because you have to compare wideout to the rest of the roster, and you have to really pay attention to the types of players that the Jets want to combine with Garrett Wilson and with Mike Williams and with Malachi Corley.
Hit the like button if you're tuning in. Submit a question for Brandyn or I to answer. Super Chats, we'll cut the line and go first. We're seeking more channel memberships. If you want to become an Asmaniac, hit the join button or turn on gift receipts, because you never know when someone might make it rain. Here's another tactic the Jets could deploy to carry an extra player on the roster. They could use an injury designation on Jordan Travis and create another roster spot that way. I think they're only carrying 2 quarterbacks. It's going to be Rodgers and Tyrod. So that's another way to find another spot on the roster to carry a good player.
Yeah, unless, Andrew Peasley and Ada Martinez hit their deep passes, I think you're probably right because, I think the reality of the situation for those two guys is they're camp arms. You have two older quarterbacks. You need to get through a preseason. You're not playing Rodgers all the time. You're not playing Tyrod all the time. Worst case scenario, these guys aren't good. You don't keep them. Best case scenario, maybe you look like you find a diamond in the rough with Peasley or Martinez. You flip him for an asset, or you have a really solidified QB3 while Jordan Travis recovers.
When it comes to the defensive side of things, Brandon, this is where it gets interesting, right? Because you have a lot of intriguing players on this defensive line here. I think that's going to be some of the toughest decisions the Jets make. I don't think Michael Clemens' roster spot is guaranteed. I think that is a position where some of these guys that are UDFAs could really push them. You have Takk McKinley, who's been excellent so far through the first couple weeks here of camp. He was impressive in the OTAs as well. Your thoughts on the defensive line room, because I could see them keeping 10. They just have so much talent there, and we know this coaching staff loves to rotate guys anyway.
If I were to throw my darts at the board right now, my locks are Jermaine, Kinlaw, Quinnen. From that first unit, I think Lecky Fotu as that run stuffer, he's a lock. And then obviously Will McDonald and Solomon Thomas. Thomas as that veteran presence, and McDonald obviously as team's first round pick. I think after that, we get into very fun territory because I think Clemens is firmly in the danger zone unless he shows a lot this preseason. I mean, he repeatedly gets stonewalled. I feel like his best value is as a run stuffer, as a pass rusher. I don't think he really brings much to the table. Obviously, got to mention Hassan Reddick. He'll be back at some point. So I think you're already sitting around 5-6 defensive linemen. When it comes to guys that could challenge Michael Clemens, I think Eric Watts is my personal favorite right off the bat, along with Takk McKinley. These are two guys that have just frequently got after the quarterback. McKinley has more of a burst and bend as an edge rusher. Watts is just an imposing presence and uses more of that power side of things. McGregor has also shown some flashes. I like him. And then even after those guys, and this goes to the depth you spoke of, Jalen Holmes has had some really nice plays during the course of camp. He hit a spin move that I think a few different reporters highlighted. You have Leonard Taylor, who hasn't even really practiced yet. He was a projected first-round pick at one point in time. You have Tanzel Smart. You have Bruce Hector. Like, you have these guys on the line that they all have talent. But it's just a matter, just like with the wide receivers, who shows up, who makes the biggest plays, and who really separates themselves to make it hard on the coaching staff. And when it comes to Clemens, I think if it's close enough, they might lean Clemens. But if you have a guy like Watts or a guy like McKinley or a guy like McGregor just flat out being better than Clemens by a wide margin, I don't think this is the team anymore that is going to cut a better player because they drafted the worst player. I think it's, especially in a year where Salah's on the hot seat, Douglas is on the hot seat, you need your best 53. Your best 53, no matter who that is. And I think if that is sacrificing Michael Clemens for Eric Watts or Takk McKinley, I think you have to do it.
I can't believe what I just saw, folks. Bang Mateo has gifted a channel membership. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, Bang Mateo's membership goes to Mazel Tov. That's actually the guy's username, Mazel Tov. Shabbat Shalom, Mazel Tov. Love it. Bang Mateo, nice job by you. I do appreciate it, even though your takes typically stink. Anyway, comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line secondary-wise. How many corners, how many safeties? That's another interesting predicament the Jets might find themselves in.
I don't want to leap over the linebackers either because I think the linebacker room is really interesting too. So I guess to kind of lump everything together, it's all about the depth at these positions. because you know your starters. You know the guys that are going to make the impact. At linebacker, I'd personally say it's Mosley, it's Quincy, and I'd go Sherwood. I've really liked what I've seen from Sherwood. At corner and safety, it's Sauce, Breed, Carter, obviously, and then Chuck Clark, who he's been having an impressive summer, and I would lean Tony Adams. It's when you get to the depth options that, things get interesting, because, Zaire Barnes and Sam Aguavon and Chaz Surratt, those guys have all had flashes. Aguavon has had a few sacks. He's looked really fast. Surratt looks really good coming down in the run game. And then even beyond those guys, Marcelinho McCray Ball, I think he had a really good tackle on Tarik Cohen while he was still with the Jets. That's a team unit where I personally look at it and go, who is going to simply not be a liability on the field if they keep him? And I think for that specific position, they're going to lean more veteran heavy. I think that when you compare, let's say, for example, Barnes and Surratt versus Jimmy Ciarlo and Jackson Sermon, they'll probably keep the more veteran guys over those guys, even if those guys maybe show a bit more, because linebacker is one of those positions where it's not all about the athletic traits. You got to be responsible. You got to call the defense at times. And, it's a deeper group there than I think in previous years. But that's one of the few spots I feel like the Jets are going to be like, no, we need to lean veteran heavy. God forbid something happens to CJ Mosley. We need someone we can trust there.
Yep.
When it comes to corner and safety, the guy that at corner has really stood out to me, Jarek Bernard-Converse. He's gotten beat a few times, but he's made plenty of plays. He's sticking with wide receivers. He's consistently having good coverage.
And he's a converted safety to corner, so he's still kind of learning the ins and outs of the position.
I've really liked what he's shown. I think him with Stiggers, those are probably your two depth options, and I'd say you keep Eccles along with those two. So that would bring you to 6 cornerbacks. And then at safety, let's see what Isaiah Oliver does. Let's see what Jarius Monroe, who, he's shown a little bit. Let's see what Codrington brings. He might have some special teams value. Safety is probably the one spot on the defense, at least, where I truly don't know. It's the 2 starters, or the likely 2 starters. Then after that, it's probably Ashton Davis and then a toss-up, because you need to see what Jalen Key has. You need to see what Monroe has. How do they fit with the other secondary players on the roster? And safety is one of those positions where you can develop guys and you don't need to invest a ton of resources. So my very uninformed prediction, without seeing them play yet, without seeing them play against another team yet, they're probably going to lean more traits-based at those spots and really bank on developing those guys over the course of the year, especially in comparison to the linebacker room, which I think they're going to go more veteran presence in.
Is this Mike D's nuts?
Oh, it is indeed Mike D's nuts. How about a 5-spot from the king of gifting memberships?
Bang! Thank you, Mike D's nuts for another gifted membership.
D's nuts.
Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. A 5-spot from Mike D's nuts. Ev Doggy Dog, Project Prospect with Dom C. Shout out to Dom C. Does a great job. Steve V. Jack Needham. Pocono Jet. Shout out to Camp Canaventris and the Poconos always. Anyway, Brandon, Mike D's nuts. He's doing what he does. He's doing what he does. Let me ask you this. Aaron Rodgers, does he make the team?
I don't know. 50-50 for me.
All right. I think he will, but I guess we will see. If you have any questions for Brandon, last chance to ask him because he has under 10 minutes to go. We'll try and squeeze in a couple calls here. But first, what has gotten into the Asmaniacs today? The memberships are flying off the shelves. Thank you to M. King for doing what we love.
Oh, nice.
A 5 spot. Here we go. Mikey Boy Jets, Bill Fond, Jonathan Idrovo, Jeff Grossman, Kaz, all officially channel members. Love it. Thank you very much to M King and Mike D's Nuts for making it rain channel memberships. And thank you to Bang Mateo for his 1 membership gifted earlier as well. Brandon, let's talk about Hassan Reddick. At what point do you get worried, concerned? Where are you at with the Reddick stuff?
I think I made a point to say that I'd be concerned by the end of this week. Well, we're getting there pretty quickly. I would probably say my true panic meter starts if he's not there before the first joint practice. So we're looking at the Wednesday, Thursday range for him to get there. For my personal feel, you just need a ramp-up period. You need a ramp-up period to get acclimated with the contact, to get acclimated with how you're attacking offensive linemen. And yes, edge rusher doesn't necessarily require that as much as a quarterback or a running back or a receiver, but you still need a ramp-up period. It's kind of, I think the best way to look at it is look at the MLB free agents that signed so late. Your Jordan Montgomerys, your JD Martinez, Blake Snell. Look how long it took those guys to get up to speed. You don't want that happening in a win now year with your star edge rusher that you traded for. Because guess what? That's how you end up relying on a Michael Clemens right off the bat in week 1 against the San Francisco 49ers. That's how you just, without easing him in, have to throw Will McDonald into the fire as a starting player. That's how you end up with, having to rely on so much of your depth moving up the depth chart when it would be so much better being in that more of a rotational role. So you still got a bit more time. I'm not as confident as I once was. I'm still not panicked. We're kind of like 3/4 of the way there to panic, but still got a little bit of leeway for the optimism. I'll reiterate what I said. These sides both need each other. One of them needs to cave, or they both need to mend the gap a little bit. Neither of them get what they want if this continues for much longer, basically.
M King with a super chat. Got my Asmaniac merch, and I'm trying to gift J-Quest. Well, good luck on the J-Quest gifting. But M King, thanks for rocking your merch. To everyone who bought merch, send me tweets, tag me on Instagram of your merch so I could reshare it and spread the Asmaniac love. Also, if you're coming to any of our 2 meetups, I want to show this off. Look what I got in the mail today. I got like 400 of these things. Asmaniac bottle openers and phone holders. You could actually put your phone in the little slots on the bottle openers here. There's 2 of them. So you could watch sports or anything on your cell phone. So it's 2 in 1. And it says Asmaniac on it. So it is going to be awesome. Can't wait to give this out to our Jet fans attending the meetup next Wednesday in East Hanover at Don Jose Mexican Restaurant. We have 5 spots left. So if you want to go, now's the time, baby. Only 50 total spots. There's only 5 left. RSVP with the description or with the link in the description. And then the granddaddy of them all, the party of summer, T-Squared Social for the Jets-Panthers preseason game. Party starts at 6:30. Free admission. Kickoff for Jets-Panthers is at 7 o'clock that Saturday night. Comments, questions, super chats. Cut the line for Brandon. We will do 1 call with Brandon because he's up against it. And ladies and gentlemen, joining us right now is someone who did not call the first show today. People were wondering, where was this guy? What was he doing? We'll find out right now.
Hi, everybody. This is Bob from Vermont. I am Bob, of course.
Hi, Brandon. How you doing? Hi, Jake. I was napping. I'm sorry, guys.
That's okay, Bobby. You need your sleep. I'm glad you're resting.
Yeah, I feel a lot better than last Thursday, I tell you that much.
That's good.
I'm spunky.
I like your hat.
today. Well, thank you for sending it to me. You and Carly did that.
You got to stop touching your mic, though. We can't hear you again.
Am I better now?
Well, just move your mic a little away from your mouth.
Is that better?
Yeah, right there.
Okay. Brandon, how you feeling?
I'm doing good. How are you doing? Feeling better?
Good. Yeah, much better than last Thursday. So you go into a big party or something later?
Uh-oh, the mic again.
You go into a big party?
Bob,
I am not.
make sure when you
Oh,
move
okay,
forward.
you go into it.
Oh, God. We can't deal with the mic. We can't hear you.
Okay,
Just sit
hold
still.
on.
Sit straight, like there. Don't move.
Okay, how's that
Just
better?
look at the camera and talk to Brandon.
How's that better?
Yes.
Okay. So I thought you were going somewhere. Jake said you're going somewhere special.
Oh God, we can't hear you.
You're going somewhere special.
I have a work thing I have to do. I'm
Oh,
covering
that's not
something and
special.
Is this a bit,
covering
Bob?
something in my community.
Are you
Is it
messing with
what?
us?
Am I messing around?
What's up with
what?
your crappy mic? Trying to
I don't
destroy
know.
my show on purpose?
No. Better?
Yeah, just don't use it anymore. Use it as a prop.
Okay. I'll fix it. I'll get it fixed.
All right.
Everybody's having a great day. I'm happy. I took a nap. Nap City I was this morning. I couldn't get my fat ass out of bed.
Nice.
So,
Yeah. How's elevating your leg going?
Very good. I elevated when I got up, and I'm doing good. My legs are very much better than this.
Ah.
I'm looking, hopefully, maybe the 17th to be there. I'm working hard.
Well, you got to make sure that you elevate that leg if you're going to be there.
Yeah, I know. I am. I've been doing it all day.
Good.
Yeah. Doing good. Sorry I didn't call the first show.
That's okay.
Everybody
I'll
was
forgive
worried about me. You sure?
Yeah. People were wondering, where's Bobby?
I don't know. I slept.
You not calling one of my shows is like the night when Cal Ripken said, I don't feel like playing.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
Yep.
I remember him.
You were alive. Yep, you were.
Yeah. I'm an old fart.
I was about to say, you're an old fart.
I am. Okay, you could play that if you want.
What?
Like, what you like to do.
Play what?
Like that.
Oh, no. You got mad the last time I played fart sound.
No, I let you do it.
No. You don't get to let me play fart sound effects. I choose when I want to play them.
Okay, no, that's fine. Well, Brandon has to go, so I go too. Yeah, there you go. Yep, that's when they have the Taco Bell. I have Taco Bell.
Oh, what's your go-to Taco Bell order, Bob?
I love soft tacos with chicken in it. I don't like the beef too much, so I'd rather have that chicken.
You strike me as a Crunchwrap Supreme guy.
I like that too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's good stuff too. Yeah. And then my salsa water. No soda. Can't do that anymore.
All right, Bobby. Brandon's got to go, so say goodbye.
I know. I got to go too. Bye now.
All right, farewell.
Well, I need to walk more to survive unless Jake is going live. Gotta elevate my leg on Bobby.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bobby Midnight. Brandon, great job by you, man. Thanks for popping on today.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on. Can't wait to be on again soon. And hey, keep the train rolling. Almost regular season, which is crazy to say because I feel like it was just May.
I can't wait. I will see you Saturday at One Jets Drive. Looking forward to it.
Sounds good.
He's Brandyn Pokrass, JetsXFactor.com. Give him a follow on Twitter and check out his work. It's funny. Sabo was supposed to join me today, but he's feeling crappy. So I'm like, let me just get someone else from your website. So thanks to Brandon for coming on. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. Ladies and gentlemen, Snowball is back from Italy, and he's using his 11-month as Maniac Super Chat. At this point, I'm just going to drive over to JQuest home and give him a $5 bill. For those who have not been tuned into the show, JQuest is one of our big-time listeners. For whatever reason, he claims he has gifted memberships turned on, but no one's been able to gift him a membership. So I said the listener who gifts JQuest his membership, because he's too stubborn to pay $5 and do it himself, can pick any 2 items they want in the merch store, and I'll cover it. Because I don't think it's ever going to happen. I hope it does. I just don't see it. So I wish JQuest the best. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike D's Nuts is back with a 5-spot for the Asmaniacs worldwide.
Hey, thank you, Mike D's Nuts, for another gifted membership. Hey.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you hear your name called, you thank Mike D's Nuts. Sea-Dog McGinty, Kalka, Daniel Meza, Joe D, and Steve Love. you all are officially as Maniacs. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, ask me anything about the Jets, anything NFL related, anything you want covered. Throw those in the chat, and I'll do my best to respond to as many as possible. Today's Jake Asman Show is presented by my friends at Huga House. If you want the hat I'm wearing, this is one of their brand new hats they launched a couple of weeks back. HugaHouse.com. Promo code Asman at checkout will get you 15% off every single hat in the Huga House store. So get the hat that I'm wearing. Get the hat that Aaron Rodgers is always wearing. HugaHouse.com. Promo code Asman at checkout for 15% off. If you buy one hat, with that code, it's 15% off. You buy a second hat, it's 30% off. So you can get 2 significantly discounted hats when you use code Asman at HugaHouse.com at checkout. Thanks to everyone who supports our great sponsor, Huga House. All right. Comments, questions, super chats. You guys know the drill. Let's get to more of your calls. This guy hasn't called in quite some time. Ladies and gentlemen, Tommy's on the line. What's up, Tommy?
Hey, what's up, Jake? How you doing, brother?
Hey, Tommy. How are you?
Good, good. How's the volume? Good?
You sound good. Yeah, you sound pretty good.
Okay, cool, man. Been watching the show every day. I got a couple of points. First of all, I want to say happy birthday to Uncle T.O. in VR. Like, much respect, dude. I know your show's coming on later at 6. I'm going to be watching it. Happy birthday, brother.
I think it's actually tomorrow. I thought today was Friday earlier. I think it's Friday. It's Fridays at 6.
Okay, it's tomorrow. Okay.
Yep.
Also, I feel so guilty because I haven't been able to buy any merchandise. You got to give me like a week or two. Like, I wanted to come on to your show with all my merchandise, and I just can't afford it at the moment right now.
You're good, Tommy.
Believe me.
Don't sweat it, man.
Believe me. I'm getting the hoodie. I'm getting the bucket hat. I'm getting the T-shirt, the polo. I'm getting the mug. I'm gonna get it all. I'm gonna do a whole thing.
I'll tell you what. Send me your address after this, and I'll send you something to get you started. All right.
No doubt. I don't have the Discord. I don't have your Discord. I'll join Patreon after this, actually.
That works too.
And couple points. I was saying this in a couple different chats. I have to write my stuff down on notes. I think Braylon Allen is going to be the complete complement back to Breece Hall. Like, when Breece Hall is tearing it up, you bring in Braylon Allen, that's going to be somebody that's like, I compare it to almost like Thomas Jones, Sean Green, Leon Washington, when we had them. I don't know if they were in the same era. Maybe we had Matt Forte or whatever. But that era where we could take Thomas Jones out of the game and bring in like a Leon Washington. But I'm not saying Braylon Allen's Leon Washington. What I'm saying is the way that our scheme is set for this year, the power running game, how are you going to stop 2, if not 3, powerful running backs running through the middle? Second, I think he's perfect just to bring in, just for advice, just to give advice to Tittman. Like, Aaron Rodgers can give him all the advice he needs, but Aaron Rodgers never played center. Connor McGovern has. Mm-hmm. He could sit there and be a coach strictly for McGovern and just tell him exactly the little small details about the high snaps and all that. I'm not concerned about that. That's why it's happening in training camp. McDonald, I was a little concerned about, just because I heard, and I can't quote it exactly because I watched like 20 different Jet websites, but they wanted him to put on at least 10 pounds of muscle, and he came in the exact same size. And when the reporter asked him yesterday in his interview, he said, "I'm the same size. I'm stronger, I'm smarter, and I'm faster." Okay, but the coach wanted you to put on 10 pounds of muscle, which you didn't do. And
I'm not have
saying
the body type for it. Yeah, I mean, I heard the same answer you did. I mean, they say he's gotten better. Salah raved about him yesterday after the practice. So, I mean, look, put him in the Bryce Huff role this year, right? Let him be a situational pass rusher. If he can give you 7 sacks, he's time for that right now.
Last thing before you cut me off, Jake. Hassan Reddick, let him get fined through the, you know what? Like, if he does not want to play for the Jets. He wants to win a Super Bowl with us this year, but he's not a true Jet. And anyone that's a true Jet feels the same way that I feel. He's a great player. I understand that. He's a great sack leader. But if you're not somebody that wants to contribute to the team and be a team player, like we can I'm not saying we can replace you as your ability, but I don't want someone like that on my team that's just gonna cause a stir and cause problems with my defense. Like I'll tell you, CJ Mosley will tell him right in the face, like, look, this is my defense, and if you don't listen to my rules, get out. And I don't think he's really. I think Hassan Reddick wants to be that number one, like role model type leader with the C on his chest, and he hasn't proven anything, and he's holding out. I don't really like the fact. I get it. You don't want to. He doesn't want to play because he's not guaranteed money. He can get hurt. I understand all that, but you could still show up in pads and in practice and be with your teammates and show the love for the Jets and all types of that. And also, last thing, Nick Bowden. So happy he's gone. That brings Jeremy Ruckert into another dimension. He will be our fullback / tight end blocker. And Jake, I love your show, brother. Thank you so much for taking my call. Have a great day, brother.
Tommy, appreciate you, man. Good to hear from you. I disagree with you on Reddick, though. It's a business. It's a business. I don't think Hassan Reddick wants to be the captain and making the like. Players understand it's a business. When Reddick comes back, he's a baller and he's going to help this team win. Let's not lose sight of that. All right, like CeeDee Lamb is holding out in Dallas right now. So is Trent Williams and Brandon Ayuk in San Francisco. This happens all around the league. So they'll get it done. I'm surprised it's not done by now after the report on Saturday last week that they had positive talks. You figured, all right, well, there's an off day Sunday, get it done. But it's going to get done. You know, I think at the end of the day, Hassan Reddick is going to help them. Let's not lose sight of that. This guy is really good. The Jets are in no position to say, we're fine. We don't need Reddick. No, you're not. When have the Jets ever had a player that's had 10 or more sacks 4 years in a row? In my lifetime. When? I don't think it was that long ago when, you know what we would say as Jet fans? We haven't had a true edge rusher since John Abraham. So now we're going to spit in the face of a guy who's had at least 10 sacks 4 years in a row? No, I'm not doing that. All right? He's too good of a football player. Remember when Darrelle Revis held out in 2010? Good thing they paid him. You think they're going to the AFC Championship game for the second year in a row without him? Like, it's business, man. It will get done. I still maintain that belief. Speaking of the merch store, it's jakeasman.com. And when Tommy joins the Patreon, every item in there will be 15% off for him. Patreon.com/JakeAsmanShow. Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. We'll take your questions. Anything Jet related is on the table. Football related, non-football related, throw it in the chat. I'll do my best to answer it. Boomtown writes in, Jake, will you be bringing on any guests who specifically talk about fantasy football prior to the season? Great question, Boomtown. The answer is emphatically yes. Absolutely. Shout out to Dave who listened to my radio show last night. How did you not know that Sudan was relocated from Africa to the Middle East? Yeah, someone tried to correct me last night when I said I didn't know where South Sudan was. They're like, you don't know it's in the Middle East? I go, it's in Africa, you moron. But anyway, that was my late night show on Sirius. Thanks for listening, Dave. Appreciate you. I've had like 6 cups of coffee today to try and make up for the fact I was up so late. Cincy Matt writes in, I think it would be different if it was a key offensive player. Reddick's simply a pass rusher, a damn good one, but it's not hurting the team right now. No, it's not, because this team is great defensively, and they're well coached. And like Hassan Reddick, his job's to rush the quarterback. You don't really need to be around the team on August 1st to know how to do that necessarily. So I agree. Mike says, can't wait to hear you on 98.7 again. Tomorrow morning, baby, 6 a.m. Call in, PBM. Get all the members of the company to call in. We'll have the company and the Asmaniacs merging. More calls right now. BMAC's on the line. Hello, BMAC.
Hey, Jake. Good afternoon. It's good to see you. Yeah. So before I get into the country, see the bottom of the thing. F the haters. A lot of people in the chat on White Paul Green. As we get through our tough time, for them and
B-Mac, call back and I'll put you on. Your audio is killing me. It sounds terrible. Go headphoneless. When in doubt, drop your headphones because it sounds like absolute doo-doo. That's the best piece of advice I can give. But to fill your spot while we wait for you to call back is a fellow Packer fan who we love as well. Ladies and gentlemen, Jerome, the Packer fan, is called in. What's up, Jerome?
What's going on, Jake, man? It's been a little bit of a minute, man. You know, I got a call to check in on you and the rest of the ass maniacs. I'm seeing some encouraging things, man. With the offense, man. It looks like y'all starting to be a little crisp. The passion with Aaron Rodgers and Garrett Wilson, Malachi Corley is showing out. Breece Hall is in the mix. I mean, y'all destined to do some good things, man. The defense get to sit back and eat. I'm excited to see what Ruckert and Conklin do with the tight ends and whatnot. And Hassan Reddick, even though I don't know as much about the depth of y'all team except for the main characters and the players or whatnot. The Hassan Reddick thing kind of makes me feel a type of way now. I need him there. You guys are going all in. Agreed. And you need continuity. You need to know that everybody's bought in. We don't want egos or nothing like that to mess up the chemistry of the team. Robert Saleh has already done a good job in keeping things intact and keeping guys ready. You know, even when you guys were, having it pretty bad and on the downside, the man knows how to identify with his players and keep everything together. We don't need nothing to mess this run up. And so I'm kind of feeling the type of way about Hassan Reddick. Given his ability and whatnot, I need for him to be reeled in and for him to be showing that he could be like, I agree with Tommy, kind of the last caller that was on there and whatnot. But no, I've been impressed with the offense though, man. You guys, they've been scorching hot lately. Been scorching hot.
They were cooking yesterday. Best practice of the year.
And that toe tap thing Corley did. Yeah, that was a sight. That was a thing to see them. I didn't think he got in. And I looked at it closely. I'm like, ooh, okay. There y'all go. I mean, but no, I just called in and check on you guys, man. And, let you know I'm paying attention. I'm watching. And I'm going to be there with you guys. I'm coming there for 3 games. I'm going to catch 3 games with y'all.
Can't wait. We can't wait for you to be there. And by the way, Jerome, your hat I sent you, I believe it shipped either yesterday or the day before, so it's on the way.
Yeah, I'm looking for it. I'm looking for it. When I call back, I should have it. Y'all to see me with it on. And man, let's go Jets, man.
I love it. Jerome, you're the man. Appreciate you. Cincy Matt says, Jake, do I need to join the Patreon to do the fantasy league? You do, Matt, because I'm going to connect everyone on Discord so we could, get everyone on the same page for the draft and trades and everything. So I'd be happy to cover your Patreon for the year for all the memberships you gifted too. So you just let me know. You got my email. Just shoot me a message. I'll get you in that fantasy league. It'll be a lot of fun. It'll be nice to have a non-Jet fan in the league too, because good luck to anyone who wants to get Jet players if you're in a league with only Jet fans. Good luck with that one. Tyler Conklin's not a sleeper in that league. I'll tell you that much. More of your calls right now, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see if we can hear him. B-Mac is up next. Hello, B-Mac.
Is it good now?
Yeah, there we go.
All right, it's probably my air conditioner. I have my air conditioner on, so that's probably why I sounded funny.
Did you turn your air off? Are you going to be sweating?
Yeah. Turn my air off. It's really hot. Well, I'm at right now, man. It's crazy, but
wow.
Yeah.
You better make your points quick and then get in front of the AC unit.
Yeah. Well, first of all, quick little thing, F the haters, you know what I mean? I can't keep me down, you know what I mean? I always rise above it. So to that. And then the other thing is, My Ty Corey, I said this morning to a Paul Boydin. I think he's gonna be Randall Cobb 2.0 man for Rodgers. You know what I mean? And I won't be shocked if Rodgers utilize him in week 1 right away. You know what I mean? Because if he trusts you and if he keeps building up that chemistry, then it can go ways away. And I think he's gonna be a big part of the offense.
I agree. I think Corley's he's getting quite the opportunity too because of some of the injuries they have at receiver. Mike Williams not practicing yet. Gibson's out right now. Lazard was banged up, so he needed the day off. So Corley's getting all these opportunities, and you know how it goes. You watched every game of Rodgers' career with your team. If he trusts you, he'll throw you the ball. He builds chemistry with Corley. Corley's gonna have a role.
Yeah. So that's and then the one thing real quick, there's a lot of BS about what Rodgers about people talking about what Rodgers said in his press conference. I think the media is trying to draw up this narrative that him and Robert Saleh don't like each other. What do you gain from that? Do you think with the communication issues, do you think that that's going to be a big deal heading into this year?
I don't. I think the media is looking for a story. I think they're on the same page, and I think ultimately, if Rodgers wants to play in the preseason, it will be his decision for that last game. Saleh's going to defer to what Aaron wants.
That's fair enough. Well, Jake, I love you. Keep doing your thing. Go Jets.
B-Mac, love the hat on you, man. Enjoy the Law and Order. Dun, 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 dun. Carmen writes in with a super chat. Oh, baby. I slept on the couch because my wife's name wrong. Yeah, you spelled your wife's name wrong yesterday when you were shouting her out, so that got you on the couch? Damn. Tom Ace writes in, defense is going to feast better than Chiefs fan at Denny's. Let me tell you, I've taken a lot of wild calls from Chiefs fan. His Denny's call this morning was right there with any of them. That will be on the best of the Jake Asman show. Super chat from a guy I met last Saturday in person. Here for the memes. I got Brees, Garrett, Corley, Allen, and Travis in one of my dynasty leagues. When you're the only Jet fan there, you could get it done easy. See you at practice. Yeah, the problem is if you're in a league with only Jet fans, you're not going to be able to do that. You're right. All right. Adam says BMAC may officially be a Jets fan. Craig writes in, Adam, he will be after MetLife against the Pats. That's right. That's right. Jameson says, can we discuss why DJ Reed's getting burnt at practice by our third stringers? I'm getting nervous with that coupled with safety situation. DJ Reed is not getting burnt by third stringers. Where's that coming from? Garrett Wilson has gotten open on him and has won reps. Garrett Wilson's also a top 5 receiver in the sport. What are we talking about? DJ Reed is a really good number 2 corner. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us on the Gusbuster hotline right now is a big-time listener of the program. Earlier today, he gifted 5 channel memberships. It's M. King. What's up, M. King?
Hey, Jake, what's going on? Can you hear me?
We hear you loud and clear. Yes, sir.
Well, just want to let you know I got the hat.
Wow, look at that.
Sorry, I'm at work, so can't wear it yet. And then I got my hoodie.
That's awesome. Wow, looks great.
Waiting for my Bobby Midnight 2024 t-shirt.
That's awesome, man. Well, thank you so much.
So yeah, I just want to let you know I got it. I put it on. I don't do the X thing I got off of X, but I did put it on your Instagram and on the Discord so people can see it. We need to support Jake and we need to get as much merchandise as we can get because this season is going to be the year for us to be happy. So that's all I'm gonna say. I don't call it much, I know, but I just wanted to say, hey, thank you guys and appreciate the show, man.
M. King, thank you so much for the support. Buying the merch means a lot, man. Thank you so much. And I know you don't call it tongue because you're working, but I know you're always watching, man. It means a lot. So thank you very much. Great call. I love that. He went with the Asmaniac hat, the Asmaniac hoodie. Reminder for everyone with the hoodies, right? There's a warning on the website where it specifically says in regards to the hoodies, that if you're typically, let's say, a medium, we recommend you go large. All right, all the sweatshirts. The hoodie runs small, so for the perfect fit, we recommend you order one size larger than your usual size. That's for all the hoodies. Nate writes in, getting burnt by Garrett's like getting KO'd by Tyson. It will happen if you found yourself in that situation. Yeah, I mean, what are we talking about? DJ Reed is excellent. He's like getting burnt by third stringers. Honestly, this comment is so stupid that I have to do it. I'm sorry, Jameson. Maybe you're a nice guy. But this is just garbage.
All the pieces come together in a season, it can be absolute perfection, folks. Because that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking the Jets, led by Zack Wilson, will fucking suck ass,
guys. Sorry. It's brutal. Carmen says, Jake, I've been listening for a few months. Would like to talk to you. Carmen, call in. The lines are open, man. Click the link. Join. I'll put you on the show right now. We'll hear about how you slept on the couch last night. Mike D's nuts with a super chat. The autocorrect, then your super chat is wild. Side note, Travis won't see the field this year. No, something has gone horribly wrong if Jordan Travis has to play for the Jets at any point this year. He's a long-term project. I think they're going to stash him on IR. You know, they'll give him an injury designation. Sean White writes in. Sean White, you're not watching the Olympics? Team USA, baby. Shout out to Katie Ledecky. Simone Biles. Team USA, yeah. Bring on the 49ers. Can't wait to all the naysayers wrong. I can't wait to prove them wrong. I'll tell you that much. Let's see. TB says, is there anywhere where you can get an authentic new Jets jersey for less than $130 that's not dry fit material? Probably not. I could tell you a place where you can get a Jets jersey that looks like it's authentic. It's stitched, and it's only $30, but you're going to have to message me on the Discord for that one, TB. Let's see. Here for the meme says, we send a lot less people to the realm, it feels like. Well, I think my audience has gotten smarter over the years. We've weeded out the morons. You want to know why I think we've sent less people to the realm or to Stupid Town? Because Zack Wilson's not on the team anymore. So I don't need to deal with the morons in Utah who are insistent on it's everyone else but Zack Wilson's fault why he's objectively speaking one of the worst quarterbacks to ever play that many games in the league. That's why. Let's call it for what it is. We eradicated the truthers. They're still out there, and they're in hiding. They're like the Jedi after Order 66. There's only a couple of them left. All right? Here's the difference, though. The truthers, you don't have a Luke Skywalker. All right? It ain't happening. I'm Darth Vader, bitch. And guess what? I ain't dying. That's the truth. Nate writes in with a super chat. To the realm, Edgemo for when it needs to happen. If you could design an Edgemo, as Keith would say, for the realm, I'd be happy to upload it, Nate. Carmen says, I am trying to download AM app. You don't need to download any app for YouTube. Just click the link that's pinned in the comments. If you're talking about calling the radio show, Carmen, then download the ESPN New York app, but I can give you the number. You don't need to you don't need to do anything for that one. All right. The ESPN New York number that you will call tomorrow morning when I do morning drive from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. is, hold on. It's 800-919-3776. 800-919-3776. 800-919-ESPN. That's the number. Rat Diddy, great comment. Hawk is the Yoda of truthers. He's right. It's true. Yeti says, I'm Darth Vader, bitch. Quote that. That should be in the best of. R&R says, Zach was poison on the field and YouTube. He wasn't a good quarterback. It's not personal, but his fans, the truthers, are some of the worst people to ever live, if we're being honest. Brutal. Brutal. Nate says, the Zach chart is at its best when someone super chats and covers his name only with it. It's true. For instance, you can't even see where Zack Wilson is on this chart right now. Want to know why? Because Nate's comment is covering it. There he is. Peekaboo. 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 All right.
Stop. What's up, Jake?
You're embarrassing yourself.
Oh, shit.
Stop.
Let me ask you something, ass man. What do you think of Zack Wilson?
He stinks.
Thank God he's gone. He never scores no fucking touchdown.
He stinks.
The second pick for number 2 destroyed the Jets' cause.
He stinks.
As maniacs kick so much ass, but some of them, they kill the vibe and make the show a freaking mess. So Jake reminds them.
He stinks.
When Allen calls, he speaks the hate. That cartoon douche, he trashed the Jets. Let Bobby know, cause he's the man who will remind him.
He stinks.
Another call comes from the car. Distorted voice and no Wi-Fi. That's JJ with crap ass phone just cut off all the calls.
He stinks.
Is that gas station pizza? Come on, Gary.
He stinks.
Chicken don't go with pasta. Let's get out of here, Jake.
The guy is terrible. Enough.
That to me is Gator's best piece of work ever. Incredible. The song is a legit banger. Unreal. Hennessy writes in, wait till we lose our first game. JJ will pop up saying fire everyone, and Allen will say tank. First 3 and out of the preseason. Allen's tanking the season. JJ's already deciding who the next coach is going to be. Get ready. I'm going to say, you guys know Rodgers is not playing, right? Doesn't matter. Saleh didn't have him ready to play. Oh, I can't wait. Where's Allen been, by the way? He never gave a reason why he's on his YouTube hiatus. I know he moved and stuff, but like, when's he coming back? And JJ's still in the mix. He's still around. I know he's busy. Allen's the one who's just completely vanished, though. You know, at least he left us with a great Jets chant, right? With tons of passion. I definitely didn't feel forced.
Jets, 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 Jets.
Man. Ladies and gentlemen, a new Patreon subscriber has emerged. Tommy has joined the Patreon. Welcome aboard, Tommy. Nice job out of you. Appreciate your support. Purple Belt Mike, Allen's a Pats fan. He might be. Remember, got a tank for Alt or Fashanu. There's no way they'll be able to get either one if they don't lose every game. Remind me, who the Jets drafted at 11? Not even 10? They could have had him at 10, but Joe Douglas made a good deal and got extra picks. Man. I don't know. For more on Allen's whereabouts, I bring on Detective Bob Midnight. Bobby, did Allen tell you when he's coming back?
He said he was on vacation. I don't know. That's the last time he told me.
It's a long vacation.
Well, are you worried?
A little bit.
Why? You didn't like him.
Yeah, but he's still part of this crazy family.
Yeah, I know. Well, I don't know what's happening.
All right. Well, if you hear anything, you let us know.
Maybe his wife keeps him in the closet now. Puts Alan's wife in the closet.
Yeah. All right. Well, you keep us posted, okay?
She wears the pants in the family.
Damn right.
Well, you know that Al's a lying crap of crap. You should check out my new hat. The Jets are freaking awesome. Bobby.
Detective Midnight on the case. Ricky NY is watching the show. Ricky, call in, man. We'll deal with your Wi-Fi. We miss you. Jake, our first game. Allen will want us to tank the preseason too. Whatever gets everyone fired. You know what's funny? I think Sal until last year was undefeated in the preseason. Did the Jets win the Hall of Fame game or they lost last year? I don't even remember. I was there and I don't remember. I think they lost, but I don't remember. I think they lost. Remember you had the blackout in the game last year? That was literally at this game a year ago. That's where I got this Hall of Fame towel. It was a great time. I highly recommend Canton for those who've never been. Dun 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 dun. We had 300 people come to the meetup that I did with O'Leary and Boy Green. What a weekend it was. Man. Purple Belt Mike just wrote in. My wife just said, I'm Bobby. Nice. It spreads. Nate says the vibes are way too high for the Jet fans right now for Allen to be around. He feeds on negative energy. It's true. I think, you know what the problem is? I think you're right, Nate. I think Allen even believes his team's going to be pretty good. So he doesn't want to give any takes that come back and hurt him like his Olu take. That's probably why he's hiding. He's waiting for that first loss in the preseason. Then he'll reemerge. Bobby Midnight says, Mike L., I think your wife is very pretty. Oh, boy. Here we go, Bobby. Oh, boy.
I like good-looking chicks in that family. Wow.
Bobby.
Oh, yeah, baby. Things are about to get crazy here on the Jake Asman Show.
Calm your freaky down.
Sometimes we try, but that freaky just take us over.
Give him some of your loving voice.
Oh, yeah. Hide them kids.
Again, leave your damn freaky down.
Too sexy.
you gotta chill, man. Kings stay kings, man. This is why Bobby's the GOAT. Rather than just say, thanks, Mike. Tell your wife I say hi or thank you. Bobby immediately goes, your wife is very pretty. Kings stay kings, baby. Rat Diddy. Bobby's freaky, always ready. Here for the memes. Bobby's too freaky. Mike D's nuts. Calm down, Bobby. Incredible. Unreal. Oh, my God. J-Quest says, Bobby's a perv. Dave says, Bobby freak mode. Peter Castro says, how can we not be good? Wilson's gone. A inept quarterback. It's a great point. Now, I could think of a couple ways, though, the Jets would still not be good, though, Peter. And, you know, you actually have called into the show before, and you've actually articulated some of those points.
Our coaching staff stinks. The team is never prepared. They're undisciplined. They make a million mistakes. And the coaching staff is terrible. He doesn't know what he's doing. Hackett and him are like having two drug addicts on the sidelines. They're no good. And if Rodgers doesn't fix this, we're all going to kill ourselves. What happens after Rodgers? They have no plan for that. It's going to be 10 more years of being a shit.
There it is. Love it. Rat Diddy says, we need to do a Jake Asman dating game, and Bobby gets to ask 3 hidden girls questions for a date. That's an off-season project if I've ever heard one, Rat Diddy. I love it. Nate writes in, Bobby is the gold standard of a friendly man that you would let pet sit / babysit, but not send your wife to pick up. Carbon says, Jake, are you on Sirius Radio? I do shows for Mad Dog Radio and NFL Radio, yes. Last night I was on Mad Dog Radio from 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. Eastern. All right, more of your calls right now. Jeff is on the line, and if my memory serves me right, Jeff is an Ithaca College Bomber alum. What's up, Jeff?
Jake, how we doing?
What's up, man?
Long-time lurker, first-time caller.
Well, there we go. I mean, it took a little bit, but we're thrilled to have you.
You know, you're usually just so busy, so many people on the line, and people cover my talking points. So I'm like, he's got it. Class of 2015, by the way. What year were you?
One above you. Yeah.
Okay. You know, so it's funny when I've been subscribing to your channel probably since like I don't know, you had hundreds of subscribers. And I saw you and I'm like, I swear I've seen this guy before. And I heard your voice. And I'm like, I've definitely seen this guy running around Park School, like with his hair on fire. No joke intended, but like, it's awesome. Love the show, man. You're super talented. Love it. But anyway, I'll get off the soapbox.
Oh, I wish I knew you in school. We could have watched the Jets together. Who knew?
Yeah, dude. In the lobby of East Tower my freshman year, and then just like jumping around or wherever. But we couldn't get games up there because the Jets weren't very good.
Well, okay, so here's what I had to do, right? And it would kill me because Ithaca, for whatever reason, is a Bills market, or they would show the Giants because the Giants were the NFC team. So I didn't have a car my freshman year, and it was before Uber was a thing. It was so long ago. I used to have to call a cab to go to Buffalo Wild Wings every week. Basically, pay like $20 each way, which in college that's a lot of money. $40, and then watch the Jets get their ass kicked. It was miserable. So that was my experience before I had a car.
That's hilarious. Yeah, I did similar stuff, to watch the game. I worked at Applebee's my senior year up by the mall, so I would watch the games there. But anyway, here's my I guess like talking point for you. Super surprised by the Tarik Cohen thing, by the way. But on the flip side of that, with with the rule change, I'd be interested to see if the Jets on the defensive side of the special teams rule change opt for the touchback because the defense is so good.
Well, I guess it would kind of probably depend on the circumstance, but it's a pretty hefty penalty for the touchback. Isn't it? You start at the 30, right?
Yeah. So like currently it's 25, right?
Yeah. So, but that's a bit, but that's, 30 feels completely different. We'll see how teams approach it. That's why I'm curious how it looks tonight. And because it's similar to what the UFL had, but there's some differences as we covered on a previous episode like 2 weeks ago. So I'm fascinated, but I think the preseason is going to be an interesting litmus test for what they want to do in that regard.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the most interesting wrinkle, and it's obviously all predicated on Aaron Rodgers staying healthy and us playing with leads. And, if we're playing with a 2-touchdown lead, maybe give up the 5 yards, and then at worst, we're looking at potentially a long field goal attempt with our defense.
Mm-hmm. No, 100%. It's a great point, Jeff. And look, I feel confident in the coaching there. I think Brant Boyer is a really good special teams coach. So I think you feel good about that. So it's on him to get the team ready to roll.
Yeah. And I don't even mean that as a slight to our special teams, our ability to prepare for it, but just, from our defense, if it's as good as we believe and have seen it to be for the past couple of years, then like, do you gift them 5 yards in a lot of situations and just play your settled, defense and get after them?
Yep. Great call, Jeff. You got to call back more often. All right. This was excellent.
Usually I'm working. I'm out here in LA. Yeah. So usually I'm working. I don't normally get to catch you live. So I end up just listening on my drive home or, whatever. So very, very fortunate I was able to catch you live for once.
I love it. Well, go Bombers, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah, absolutely. Go Bombers.
Love it. Jeff, check it in. An IC alum. There we go. Let's go, baby. Screw Will Parkinson and Cortland. Let's see. Tommy says, I think I did it right. Did you get my email? Tommy, I shouted you out earlier, but maybe if you missed it, I did get your email. You are officially a Patreon subscriber. I appreciate you, my man. Get in the Discord. Comes with your membership. Last chance to get in here. Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. We only have 148 likes, and there's nearly 200 people watching, so the math's not math. Hit that like button, please. Uh-oh. Look what we have here. Lane Kerner's in the house, folks. He writes in, how do you feel about the Jets? Well, Lane, I'll tell you what. How do I feel about them? I feel all right. But I'll tell you what. You ask me this question in 5 minutes, I might tell you 14-3, 1 seed. Depends on the day. Peter says, Jake, you're the best. 14-3, nothing less. Peter, if the Jets are 14-3, you could you tell me whatever items you and your wife want in the merch store, and I'm sending them to you. All right, that's my deal. So at least I could do after your $500 Alan Lazard super chat, which I don't know if I know you got your money back from your bank. I gotta check YouTube's finances. I don't know if I ever lost that money. I gotta look. Anyway, 14-3. Anything in the merch store for you and your wife, it's on me. Tom writes in, I feel even better now that Lane is here. I do as well. Lane says, how do you feel about all the Jets players? Lane, I feel like 12-5 AFC East champion. Smell the 12-5 right now. Lane, if you call in, you go right to the front of the line. Carmen says, good night, Jake. Hope I could sleep in my bed. Well, apologize to your wife, and maybe she'll let you in there. Good luck, Carmen. Ray Jet writes in, Lane, believe all the players are running all over the field and very fast. Well, today we don't know that for sure because the media wasn't there to report. We think so, but we can't confirm. Lane writes in, do you like Starbucks coffee? I prefer Dunkin', but there's a Starbucks on the corner of my block, so I typically go there at a convenience. That's an interesting question, Lane. Green Gang says 12-5 division champs is all I'm asking for. That to me is the regular season goal, win the division. Ladies and gentlemen, it is raining one membership. Stack has delivered a one spot, baby. Ladies and gentlemen, Wish B is the recipient of that channel membership. Are we going to get any more memberships gifted here before we sign off? We added the Dre membership yesterday. We're on the hunt for more. Tom writes in, but Jake, how do you feel now? I feel good, Tom. Let's see. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't have the Lane train on the line. But I do have someone that earlier today made a pretty significant announcement in the Jake Asman Show Discord channel. This is why, if you're not on my Discord, you're missing out because you will not get the breaking news that we received from the great Charles Gorman, who announced earlier today, ladies and gents, at 1:30 Eastern, I will be seeing Deadpool and Wolverine at my local AMC theater. Then precisely at 4:13 p.m., Charles Eugene M. Gorman IV wrote in the same Discord, just got out of the theater, loved it. There is so much to talk about. Joining us right now is Charles Gorman. Hello, Charles.
Hey, Jake. Sorry I'm not wearing the the tank top you gave me. I just got back from home. I went to my Barnes & Noble afterwards and took out a couple of graphic novels.
Very good. Did the
but
tank
yes,
top arrive?
Huh?
Did the Gorman arrive?
Yes. And you can see I'm wearing my X-Men t-shirt that I got from one of the malls I purchased it from with Jim Lee's artwork of the X-Men. Loved me some Jim Lee. Huge shout out to him.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorite comic book artists growing up. Anyway, so I'm not going to review the movie here on your show, but what I will say is, did I enjoy it? Absolutely. There's so much to talk about. There's so much to tell. But I'm going to save that for my shameless self promo alert. I hate when I have to do that, but it is what it is. I'm going to save that for my collaboration discussion and review with Ricky New York. I just measured him about it. I just told him I saw the movie myself. He has yet to get back on me on that, but Anyways, I did hear about the news of Tarik Cohen retiring. That is kind of sad, but at the same time, hey, at least he went on at a high note to some degree. I mean, he showed some promise in training camp. Unfortunately, it might not have been good enough for him to launch an official NFL comeback. But it is what it is, man. At least he's doing well. Hi, Lane. How are you?
Lane Train. He's curious about you, Charles.
That's interesting, yeah.
Yep.
Anyway, Ricky has yet to get back to me. Oh, wait, he just got online.
Now, Charles, can you show off the Gorman tank that I sent you? I want to see what it looks like. You got to put it on for the people.
I'm not going to put it on right now. I'm just going to show
Why not?
you.
Give the
Now
people
we have
what
a
they
shirt
want.
on.
You can put it over the shirt. It's fine.
Nah, I'll put it on another time. Oh, he's typing right now. Here's the tank top that you gave me. Looks promising.
I named it after you. We have it on the website. It says inspired by Charles Gorman.
I know, you said that.
I know.
It's right here.
There you go. Put that thing on.
I'll put it on tomorrow.
Oh, you're going to tease us like that?
Maybe.
Wow. Wow, look at no regard for it. Just do it right in the closet.
I didn't throw it. I just put it in the closet. Well, because I got so much stuff to do. Anyways, I am glad. I'm sure you know the Yankees swept the Phillies this week.
Did they?
Yeah, they won yesterday, 6-5.
And what happened in the other two games?
They won 14-4. They won the second game 7-6 in 12 innings.
Wow, I feel like I should know this if I'm going to do morning drive on one of the two sports stations in New York tomorrow, right? This sounds pretty big.
Ricky just got back and he said, I have been working every day, but hoping to make it this weekend. I will keep you posted. Hoping for this weekend sometime. We'll let you know. Okay.
Lane wants to know, are you in college?
I graduated from college. I graduated from college in May of 2016.
Did you go to college with Knoble?
No, I did not.
No?
No. I did not go to college with Knoble.
You sure?
I went to Centenary University in Hackettstown. They don't have a football team.
What are you doing next Wednesday night, Charles? Are you coming to East Hanover for the big event?
What, for the you and Richie?
Yeah.
No, I said I won't be able to make it, so.
Why not?
Well,
What if I were to tell
Hanover-
you I'll pay for your entire meal that night?
You don't have to, Jake. Look, my
No,
parents.
it will be an honor
My
for
parents
me
don't know
to pay
you.
for your Mexican food.
They don't know you personally.
So?
Actually, it matters because they don't. They care for my safety and so forth.
Your parents think I'm a criminal?
They don't think you're a criminal. They just don't know you. You know, I've told them about you, but they don't know you personally.
You realize this is a public setting, Charles. Like we're going to a restaurant. There's going to be Jet fans there enjoying a nice night.
I know that, but I tried going, but my parents got a little upset of me trying to go to Richie's thing, Dutch Media Day. They got upset at me trying to go to.
Well, this is an adult restaurant. Would I have Mexican food and talk about the Jets?
I know, but I gotta respect my parents' rules. You know, I live in their house. I have yet to pay rent.
How's Dennis doing, your father?
He's having dinner right now.
So they say they don't know me, yet I know your father.
Well, you don't never met the man. You never talked to my father.
I don't get it. You did a whole video with Nick Shine. Do they know Nick Shine?
No.
So what's the difference between you coming to my public event at a prominent New Jersey Mexican establishment that Rex Ryan and Nick Mangold are regulars at, and you doing a full-on music video with Nick Shine, who's a fellow Jet YouTuber?
Look,
pretty good point, right? It's a pretty
I
good point by
understand
me.
that, but my parents worry about my safety. My mother's been a bit paranoid lately because of all these reports of people getting kidnapped and so forth. And
Do you fear for your safety in East Hanover at Don Jose Mexican restaurant?
No, but I know it cost me money. I take Uber, and I know it costs me a pretty penny to go there.
I will cover everything for you if you can make it out. You send me an invoice. Uber, the meal, all of it.
I'll see what I'll think about it, okay?
All right.
Anyways,
There's been a lot of you out there asking about who he be. Well, he's about to let you know.
He's Charles.
This rapper's so hot, you'll play it on a loop. You'll never get the recipe for chicken noodle soup. Super a spider or even a bat. Got nothing on me or Bobby with his hat. Lady's gotta be a 10 if I'm gonna date her. Shout out to my homie, his name is Gator. I'm Charles.
To all you other guys trying to rap on Jake's show, got nothing on this guy and his flow.
He's Charles.
These bars be so hot, I'll get invited on Fallon. You know who won't? That hater, Alan. My comic book and movie takes are so hot and wild. Since my last verse, Johnny had another child. My YouTube is blowing up and I'm becoming a star. Like takes are fresh like the clothes on VR. I'm Charles.
Jets, Yankees, comics, hip-hop, nobody compares when it comes to him.
He's Charles.
I see everyone on Jake's show trying to prop bars. I'm the only one jumping over cars. Blowski calls the show and he's always really loud. Shout out to Nick, you know he'd be proud. I don't like Zach or his family, they're Mormon. First name Charles, last name Gorman. I'm Charles, motherfucker.
You just witnessed the debut of a proud New York Jet fan and a Jake Asman production. Brought to you by the man, the myth, the legend himself.
I'm Charles.
I don't really see the difference, Charles, between that and you coming to a public event. Charles.
I heard you, man. I'm just...
Bring your parents. Have them come on down.
They're having dinner. They're not interested. You see, my parents are...
No, I'm saying have them come to the event next Wednesday.
They're not interested.
Are they not Jet fans?
My mother doesn't care about sports. My dad is, but... You know, my dad...
Bring Dennis.
Jake, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I'm not trying to be a jerk about it. It's just that...
I'm very sad, Charles. It feels like you don't think very highly of me. You think I'm going to kidnap you?
I do. But I got to respect my parents' wishes.
I understand, Charles. I see how it is. You favor Nick Shine over me.
That's not true.
Well, what is true?
That I'm trying to respect. Look, my parents don't know I went to Nick's house. I told my mother I was going to the mall. They don't know about the video. They don't really watch YouTube.
That would all make sense. Lane wrote in, can you cut him off? Lane's had enough of you.
Gee, thanks, Lane. I appreciate it.
And when you losing Lane is like when you lose Cronkite, you know? You lose the country. That's like Lane Kerner here. You lose the Lane train, you lose the country. You lose the Asmaniacs.
That's interesting. Didn't know I suck now.
You don't suck, Charles, but I'm hoping you can change your mind, and we'll see you next Wednesday. But if not, I still love you, and I hope you enjoy the tank top I sent you and we named after you.
Thank you.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Now, no spoilers, but movie was great.
Movie's a masterpiece, in my opinion.
All right. I'm going to probably see it soon, okay?
It's going to break $1 billion next week.
All right. Well, Charles, thank you for the time.
No problem.
Ladies and gentlemen, Charles Eugene M. Gorman IV. Apparently, he thinks that I'm a stranger. So, after everything we've been through together. Man, that was tough. I'll tell you what, if this guy was hosting the event, I would say he might kidnap you. Gary's up next. Hello, Gary.
Jake, you gotta drive out there. You gotta meet the parents. Like if someone wanted to take my Decker out and they don't and they won't come to my house, they sit in my driveway and beep their horn. Decker's not going out with them.
Your daughter is 9, right?
Whatever. Yeah.
I'd say it's a little different.
I'm trying not to reserve my judgment. But you want to go out with them? Gotta knock on the door. Gotta shake the father's hand.
Yeah.
Gotta sit while he gets ready. I mean, that's how it's got to be done.
Yeah. Look, Charles got to do what he's got to do, man. Before we get to whatever else you're going to say, Addison has gifted a channel membership. Thank you very much, Addison. Your membership went to. Hold on. Just getting through all the Charles comments here, which I got to go back and read because I'm sure there was gold through that. E.K. Lampert is the recipient of the membership from Addison. Addison, thank you, man. Appreciate you supporting the show. Gary, other than your comment on Charles Gormani there, what else you got?
No, that's it. And shout out to Addison. Me and him have bonded. We've made a friendship over our love affair for Kobe Bryant. So shout out to Addison.
I'm happy to hear that. That's what we do on the show. We bring people together. Except Charles. To him, I'm just a stranger.
You know what you got to do?
You bet me in person.
You got to knock on his door. You got to meet his dad. I mean, that's what you do.
I got to go meet the Gormans. I guess so.
Yes.
Instead of meet the father.
Please go live when you do. Please go live.
All right, here's what we're going to do. We'll do our show that day from the Gorman household, and then Charles will come to the event at night.
There you go. Perfect. All right.
Knockouts don't matter if you land enough jabs.
Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Ladies and gentlemen, more memberships are flying off the shelves. Darth Crypto has made it rain.
Oh, nice.
Ladies and gentlemen, the recipient of the membership from Darth Crypto is EJ. But wait, we're not done because another membership has just been gifted.
Oh, nice.
Ladies and gentlemen, Rick Kent getting in on the fun, and this membership went to Heath A. But wait, there's more. Billy Mays here. OG Jet fan, that's Tommy.
Oh, nice.
He gifted a membership to Keem Brown. Keep it coming, baby. Thank you for your channel memberships. It really supports the channel, and we pay it forward. Ladies and gentlemen, when this guy calls in, you stop what you're doing, and you get to your computer screen, your phone screen, your television screen. Ladies and gentlemen, the Lane Train.
Hi, how are you? Bruce Hall. That's good.
Hello,
Lane. Hi. Oh, hi. I wasn't going to call in, but yeah, I'll just kick off Charles after what he said.
Yeah. How crazy is that he
I don't know what he said, but okay. Why do you think he would say that? Anyway, how do you feel about Al-Azhar?
Well,
Bruce Hall.
Wait, Lane, hold on. What did Charles say specifically that irked you?
That whole rapping thing, I did not get. But going... Yeah, so how do you feel about Al-Azhar, Bruce Hall, and, let's see, the Jets coach? Do you think they'll do good going into training camp?
Are you talking about Robert Scala?
Yeah, and how do you feel about him also?
I feel okay about him. I think he's got a lot to prove this year. He's got the team to do it, though.
And, yeah, there is a football game on tonight. The first game.
Who's playing?
I'll tell you. Is it the, oh, wait. What week?
Is it the Jets?
No, it's, I don't think the Jets play tonight. I don't know when the first preseason game is. I think it must be in 3 weeks or something, or maybe 4. Yeah, there's a preseason game on tonight. Let me get to the paper. A lot of Olympic coverage, but I'll tell you who's playing tonight.
Are you reading the TV guide?
I'm just trying to see who's in the post right now. Oh wait. Yeah. Oh, Texas and Bears on tonight.
Right, the Texans and the Bears.
Yeah. And yeah, they're playing. You should post me reading the TV guy in the paper on you, so that could be funny.
Well,
usually
I use an app to check who's playing.
So anyway, Look, honestly, I think maybe they should win tonight. I hope the Bears win.
Do you?
Yeah. I don't know if I'm going to watch it, but because there's a lot of baseball coverage on. Yeah, the Yankees play tomorrow and at home versus Toronto.
Yep. The Yankees been playing great, Lane.
Yeah, I know the Mets lost. It happens.
Did you see the game?
I was watching a baseball game and the Yankees pulled it out. So yeah, but I mean, still staying like with the Jets and stuff. The preseason games should be good. All right, bye bye. Thank you for taking my call. Yeah.
Lane, thank you for the time. Call back anytime, all right?
Okay. Hi. Sorry, everybody. See you next call when we talk about sports again.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Lane train. As electric as ever. Kings stay kings. Many people were like, where did Lane go? How come he's not calling in? Because he picks his spots. All right, Lane doesn't need to call in June or early July. You know when Lane calls in? When football season's here. Or when he's discovered the next great two-way player. All right, that's when Lane calls in. Lane doesn't call in every day. He's not here to be a high-volume caller. All right? When he calls, you pay attention. Period. End of discussion. Ladies and gentlemen, Rick Kent with a $10 super chat, all because of Lane. Lane, you're the man. Getting people to spend money on this channel, incredible. Lane is my favorite caller of all time. If you're doing a Mount Rushmore of Jake Asman Show callers, the Lane train is on it. Bobby Midnight is on it. You're going to have to find the other two. All right, it's like doing a Yankee Mount Rushmore. Ruth and Gehrig are on it no matter what you do. No matter how you slice it, you already got two. Good luck finding the other two. Incredible. What a show this has been. From Charles Gorman to the Lane train to Bobby Midnight. Man. Green and white pinstripes who just got back from Vegas and placed a hefty wager on the Jet win total over with a super chat. I honestly can't decide who my favorite caller is. Is it Lane or Charles? But Jake, you can't pass up the opportunity to go meet the Gormans. Live show from the Gorman household. I'm going to meet the Gormans, and then we're going to get Charles to our event that night. All right, that's the plan. Ladies and gentlemen, Cincy Matt with a super chat. Lane knows how to make a great call. Drop some knowledge and comedy, then see yourself out. Take notes, Charles. Cincy Matt calling out Charles. Atlanta Jet fan with a super chat. Wow. What's up with ESPN saying there's drama with Salah and AR? I don't know who said it specifically. ESPN's a pretty big company with a lot of on-air people. I can specifically tell you I work for ESPN, and I think it's horse shit. Sorry. Excuse my language. So I'm not buying it. There's no drama at all. All right? Maybe watch the press conferences, and then you form your own opinion. But anyway, I digress. All right. I think we're done here, folks. I don't know if we could top the last 30 minutes of this show. I think we went back-to-back Gorman to Lane train. Like, good luck. Unreal. Man, I'm even starting to sound like Charles now. All right, that does it for me. Thank you to everyone. Please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, join the Patreon if you haven't. Reminder, I need all the Asmaniacs to call in, all right? It's a big opportunity for your friend Jake Asman tomorrow, doing morning drive for the second time in a week. 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. Download the ESPN New York app if you're out of the New York area. Listen on 98.7. Appreciate all of you guys. Could be a lot of fun. Thanks to everyone who tuned in today. Thanks to all the excellent callers. Want to give a special shout out to everyone who gifted a channel membership or sent in a super chat. Thank you for that. We're back tomorrow. I have a fantastic guest that's making his debut on the show, but he's been around the content game for a while. Kevin from Let's Talk Jets Primetime. He's joining us at 11 a.m. Eastern. So I get off the radio at 10. We'll get back to the apartment, fire up the YouTube at 11 for the first of what will probably still be 2 shows on the day. And if you're going to camp Saturday, I will be there, so I can't wait. It's going to be magical. All right. On that note, thank you again to everyone. My name is Jake Asman. This has been the Jake Asman Show. JETS, 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 Jets. Choo-choo. We are all aboard the Lane Train. Hello, Lane. Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time in months, the Lane Train is back. Good afternoon, Lane.
Hey, Jake.
How are you, Lane?
I'm good. Had a nice beer. Look, the football season is coming up. Going into week 1, I mean, I don't even know who's on the Jets anymore. It's like I totally lost count. They play all these teams coming up. I can't stop thinking about what happened to breaking news from Noble.
Yeah, can you
I don't know if he's dead. I think he went to the hospital. Yeah, that was funny because his girlfriend was acting freaking looking like a serial killer. That's nerd alert. With all college starting up again next year. That's all I have to tell you.
Call us back soon, all right? Great to hear from you.
Yeah, okay.
Lane says Knoble is alive. And that's what I'm going with because he would know.